Welcome, everyone. My name is Omar Barberena. I'm one of the employment development specialists from the Career Hub. And today I'm going to talk about sharpen up your resume and learn to impress during and after the fair. With me today, I have Joan, my colleague, and Jasmine. They're going to be helping me out in case I miss any tips that I'm going to be providing for you today. Really important because I'm sure you heard many other tips that will help you for the career fair that we are having at MATC. Okay, so we are here to help you to get you ready for the job fair. Okay, and one of the things that I talk about to get an outstanding resume, I always like to tell people that you got to use action verbs. Action verbs will describe who you are. Like I manage, I participated, I developed, etc., etc. Those are action verbs that tell you exactly what you bring to the table and what you have done. And that's what the employers want to see. Another thing that is really important about the resume, because you only have a limited time. Remember, a resume, a hiring manager only have about maybe 10 to 20 seconds to look at it. So it must be organized and it's got to be easy to read, right to the point. And one thing that I always tell people too, do not repeat the same words over and over again. And we'll be providing you at the end of this slide a site that you can look at, a whole range of action verbs that you can look at and put it in your resume. Okay. One thing that is also really important on your resume, you must put your relevant skills on the top of your resume. You got to showcase who you are from the start. So, but at any time that you have any questions and you want someone to critique your resume, have a send this to us at careerhub at matc.edu. But you can see at the bottom of this slide at the Career Hub resume resource, you will find a packet where it will show you a whole range of action verbs and a lot of good tips that you can find so you can have in your resume. Okay, so before your career job fair, these are the things that you got to do. You have to be organized. So you have to organize your materials. It's really, really important. For once, make sure that you save your resume as a PDF file. I say that because sometimes when you don't have it and you have it just in Word, when you send it to employers or when you are looking at it, it might change because not everybody has the same version. And it's a resume that you worked so hard for. You don't want any changes to be, especially the date of the interview process or when you are going to be in the career fair. So in PDF, nothing is going to change. Also have paper notes for your 30 seconds introduction right in front of you, because I think Joanne talked about before that you have to have an elevator speech. So if you have it with you, you'll be ready for it and you'll not be saying anything, or you don't have to really memorize anything, but you need to practice it. It'll be right there for you. And, goes without saying, you have to have your resume ready because they might be asking you questions of the history of your employment. If you have it with you, you can explain, by referencing your resume by looking at your experiences as well. And have questions ready. Sometimes it's good to be taking notes, but a lot of times it's even better when you have questions ready for the employer. By this point, you should have already researched the employers, who's going to be there, so what positions they have. So by this time, you should have questions for them to be asked. Okay, so, and let's talk about what you need to do during the virtual job fair. You got to make sure that you show up on time. If you go through Handshake and you're setting up a time, the best thing that to do is be there. Okay, don't just blow it off and then you forget about it. Okay, treat it like a real job interview, because this might be a really great opportunity for you to even get hired, even to get an interview. So you move into the next step of probability of getting hired from these companies. That's what they're here for. Again, make sure that you have a copy of the schedule so you know exactly the time you need to be there. So when you enter the virtual room too, read the room and wait your turn. Don't go a minute ahead of time or a minute after. Be on the dot. You know, and remember, you have to have your 30-second introduction, 30-second elevator speech. This is your moment for you to shine. Okay. And if you're going to be using the chat option, which is a really good option to have, so you know exactly what they're talking about, and then you are writing back to them, make sure that you check your spelling. Okay. So they'll know that you actually have a good spelling and grammar for it. Okay. Really important because you're going to be looking at a visual room, so you're going to be looking at them. So make sure that you have a good eye contact. You're looking at the camera like I'm looking at you right now, like I'm actually talking to you. So you can see that they are actually looking at you and you are really interested on the position and you're talking to them. Okay. Really important too, speak clearly, confidently, and sometimes you got to do that a bit slower, okay? Because remember, the connection is not always 100%. So, and there's always a delay in seconds when you're talking through a camera. So make sure that you do that, a slow pace. You don't want to go like, my name is Omar, but you want to do that in a way that is going to be slower than you normally speak so they can clearly hear you what you are actually saying. And be confident about it, okay? You're going to be sitting in a chair. Make sure that you're not going to be standing up or moving around because, sometimes you feel like you have a nice chair. You're going to be going back and forth because then they see that you're not interested. You want to be in a position that show confidence, okay? And be engaged and excited about it. You're talking to someone, you're applying for this position, you already research the company. So you're actually talking to someone and be excited about knowing what they have to offer for you and vice versa, what you have to offer for them. Okay. Now, I have other tips as well. Remember to smile. Have a really nice smile. Be ready for it. So, but don't confuse it with a sarcastic laugh. Smile confidently and make sure again to have eye contact. Take notes so you can also come up with other questions. And ask employers what the next steps are. Should I send my resume? Should I apply online? And other questions that will relate to the job that you're applying for. And at the end, don't forget to send a note to the employer because you're thanking them for the time. And remember, at any point, Career Hub, we are here to help you. So we're going to get you ready for this career fair. Send us your resume at careerhub at matc.edu. Did I miss anything, Joanne?
No, Omar, I think you covered everything beautifully.
No. What about Jasmine? What do you think?
I think that these are great tips, Omar. I want to add that my favorite tip that I like to tell students is that it's better to be interested than interesting. So you want to engage with the employers and ask them questions. Show that you're interested in their company. You don't have to be this perfect profile that you think that they want you to be. Just be yourself, be authentic, and remember, interested is better than being interesting.
That's a great point, and I like that because again, if you show so much interest for the company, most likely they're going to call you for an interview after the virtual interview. You need to follow up like you would do it at any other time, within 24 hours. Make sure again to thank them for the time. Write them a note. It could be email nowadays. That's what we do. You mentioned something about what you discussed to stand out. Show genuine interest and send the application. At the same time, If you find the person in LinkedIn, the person that you had interviewed, connect with them, and send them, hey, I saw you at the career fair. My name is such and such, and I like to connect with you. It will not hurt, and actually will create more interest that you have on the company. Here are some simple thank you notes that you can review during this presentation. Just pause it, and then you can just take a look at it. I have one, and then I have another one for you. So two different ones, but they're really good. You have to get organized at the end too, because you want to keep track of everyone that you talk to and everyone you send the applications to as well. So it will help you with follow-ups, because then you can be checking who do you send it to, when do you send it to, and who do you send it to, so you're not repeating them or sending them more than once. Okay. Again, send emails. If you don't hear from them, it doesn't hurt. And don't count the company out if not selected. You can get back to them later. And that's what Jasmine was saying as well. It doesn't hurt to send them an email, even if you don't get hired, even if you don't get a call from them, because they'll have you and they'll probably check on you, or you can check on them in the future and they will remember it. Okay. Any other tips that you can think, Joanne?
Well, just always remember, as Jasmine was saying earlier, to stay interested and be energetic and smile, and always maintain good eye contact with the employer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I remember you talked about the 30-second elevator speech, so that you get ready for that, because you got to practice them. You got to practice them with yourself in the mirror. You can set up a time with us. We actually have time set up for you, so you can check on our website and you'll see that we have 30 minutes intervals, so you can talk with us and we'll help you out. Again, make sure that you research the employer, because you want to be prepared for what, who they are, and that will help you develop questions for them. Plan your professional dress, just don't be a slacker. You're not going to a baseball game or any sports event or party. You having an interview. Okay. Find a quiet room without any distraction, because and also make sure that you do have a nice virtual background. Really easy to get. We can help you and show you how to do it. But, it's not going to be something that, it doesn't show also a nice one that it might be distracted for others. Okay. Make sure that your audio and your video works as well, and if you haven't done that, so download Chrome. Chrome is the best way for you to connect via Zoom. Okay. And with Handshake, ask house members to stay off the internet while you aren't. That will help the internet connection be faster. Okay, so make sure that you tell everyone within, maybe in the next 2 hours, don't connect, or do less things that you would normally do, so that way you don't have any problems connecting. Okay, if you have headphones, it will reduce the background or noise that you might have at home. And make sure that you have a good lighting. Okay, the lighting, the best way would be in front of you. Okay, so which means behind the computer, so you don't have you're not going to be looking dark like this. Okay, so make sure that you have good lighting, so that you're going to be that shows confidence as well. Okay, other than that, send us your questions, send us your resumes. We set up a time for you to practice your elevator speech at the Career Hub at matc.edu, and we are looking forward to hearing from you. I hope this is going to be really helpful for you and get you ready, prepared for the career fair.